Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I haven't been able to post many videos of late because I have not been feeling very well. Pakistan and New Zealand test series is well underway. Today we had a very interesting third day's play, and I would like to summarize the proceedings of the first 3 days as well as my predictions for the rest of the match in a brief video. New Zealand posted a fantastic total thanks to Kane Williamson, Henry Nicholls and Ross Taylor. However, Pakistani fielders were also very kind to the Kiwi batsmen and dropped several catches and let go of quite a few balls. Pakistan should have restricted New Zealand for less than 350 runs in this innings. However, New Zealand has a massive advantage now, especially that Pakistan has been bowled out for 239. In the lateral part of the second day, Pakistan batted quite well, and apart from a really useless attempt of a flick by Shan Masood, Pakistan was reasonably well placed after 20 overs. They did well initially this morning as well. Once Muhammad Abbas and Abid Ali went, Azhar Ali and Haris Sohail gave very little in terms of resistance. I'm a little surprised by Haris Sohail. I think he is probably the most technically sound batsman in this team, but he continues to play really bad shots. Azhar Ali hasn't done much recently. His lone 100 in England did him well enough to stay in the team. But if this kind of horrid run continues, I think Pakistanis will very soon be looking for another top order batsman. As for Fawad Alam, he struggled a bit. Obviously, he came in the middle of a very hostile spell. Did put up a bit of a partnership, and I think Pakistan would do well to stick with him for at least another 4 to 5 test matches. Give him a thorough chance and see what he has to offer. We can't praise Mohammad Rizwan and Faheem Ashraf enough for their efforts today. Rizwan unfortunately got run out at the wrong time, and that was some effort by our Santner, but it would have been nice had the two of them continued and maybe they were able to see off the day, but that did not happen. Pakistan from a position from 51 for 5 to 80 for 6 and then going on to score 239 was quite impressive. They avoided the follow-on. They are also in a position where they can contain New Zealand and pick up their wickets early tomorrow and try to make them give as small a total as possible. Now, going by a typical Pakistani mentality, or rather typical South Asian mentality, Pakistan will not be chasing a victory over here. The only way Pakistan is going to chase a victory is if they are bored, the Kiwis are bowled out for 100 runs or less. And even in that case, Pakistanis would be very reluctant. Misbah isn't a very aggressive character. Rizwan is playing his first test match as a captain. He will rely heavily on what the team management tells him to do. So, my guess is Pakistan would like New Zealand to play for at least 60 overs at a slow rate, lose wickets here and there, keep them interested in setting up a big enough total, and I don't think the Kiwis would be looking at it that way. Kiwis would probably be looking for maybe 40-45 overs. Kiwis would probably like to set a total of around 350, ideally more, and I think they're going to be very comfortable with that. Pakistani team has to do a very simple thing over here. They don't need to chase a victory unnecessarily at the expense of losing the match. They need to remain positive though. They need to make sure that they score runs wherever there's an opportunity. Don't hunker down and not score any runs at all. You don't need to have a repeat of this situation again. Pakistan can do very well in this match, and if they can keep New Zealand to a lower score and they stay positive and don't throw their wickets away, this match can have an interesting end as well. Pakistan has quite a few hitters, but they need to make sure that they don't get reluctant and they don't throw it away. You don't want another 70 for 4, 108 for 7, and then you're just having the tail trying to save the day. That's not going to happen. In another test match, Australia versus India, India have actually been quite impressive with the ball and the bat, and they have gotten Australia into a real stranglehold. Australia has practically has 2 runs on board with 4 wickets in hand. India are heavy favorites in this match, but from experience and the previous match, I can make one prediction. If Australia can manage to add 150, and that's a huge if, even if they had batsmen in there and they have the tail-enders to come. But if they can add something between the range of 120 to 150 runs, India will find it very difficult. And I'm sure the Aussies will remind them of the 36 all out. It's not going to be a very pretty situation if it comes to that. But India again are firm favorites. But I just wouldn't rule out the Aussies right now. Greatly depend on the first hour of the day. Let's see how it goes. And we'll see you tomorrow then.